In this video, I'll be using PowerShell commands Get-AppxProvisionedPackage and Remove-AppxProvisionedPackage to remove Windows Store apps from online image. I'm starting this video from my GitHub page, and that's because there are a few bits of information here that I will be using for this video, and I will leave the URL in the description down below. And here I have this note right here saying that this video that you're watching now is almost the same as the video that I made before about Get-AppxPackage and Remove-AppxPackage. And there is two reasons for that. The first one is that in this video I will be only talking about how to modify the online image with AppxProvisionedPackage commands. And the second one is that in Windows 10 they did work differently, but in Windows 11 they are working the same if we are talking about modifying the online image. And that means that if you watched this video that I made before, you don't have to watch this one because almost everything in this video will be the same. And in future videos, I will be talking about how to modify the offline image, but that will be another series. Anyways, now I'll begin this video by going to my VMware workstation where I have this Windows virtual machine. And I will be executing all the PowerShell commands and snippets inside of this virtual machine, but before that I want to show you my setup. As you can see, this is a clean installation of Windows 11. If I go to my start menu, you can see that I have all the applications that come with clean Windows installation. Also, if I go to settings and then apps and installed apps, here we can see more of the default packages that comes with Windows 11. And very important thing to understand here that in the list here, we can see all the store apps that are installed on the computer. And in the start menu, this is not necessarily true because some of the applications that are here are only existing in the start menu. For example, application like Outlook that we see here is installed on this computer and we can also see it on the start menu. But for example, Spotify, we can see it in the start menu, but this application is not installed on the computer. For example, if I go into the list here, search for Outlook, we can find the application without any problems. But if I search for Spotify, we don't see it in the list. And that's because even though I can see the Spotify application in my start menu, the application is not installed on the computer or under my user profile. And the installation will happen only after I click on the icon right here. And this is important to understand because in this video, the commands that I will be using will only be able to manage applications that are installed like Microsoft 365, Outlook, Notepad, and others. But it will not be able to manage applications like Spotify, Grammarly, Camo Studio, or LinkedIn. But if you still want to remove software like Spotify and Grammarly from the start menu, instead of uninstalling them, you need to create a new start menu for your users. And I have videos about that in my channel. And another thing that you should know is that on this computer, I also have another existing user called John. And after executing the PowerShell commands and snippets, I will be creating a third user. And that's because I want to show you how the PowerShell commands will affect the user that is executing the commands, other existing users on the computer, and how it affects new users that are created after the PowerShell commands and snippets are executed. And the reason for that there will be some unexpected behaviors with new user accounts. Anyways, now I'll begin this video by opening a PowerShell window, running it as administrator. And then I will go back to my GitHub page because here I have all the commands that I will be using in this video. And the first command that I will be using is Get-AppxProvisionedPackage with a parameter online. And that's because, like I said, in this video I will only be showing you how to modify the online image for Windows 11. And I will click on the button right here to copy the command, and then I will go back to my virtual machine and insert it into my command line. Then I will press enter. And here we can see all the provisioning packages that are installed in this virtual machine. As you can see, we don't get much information about the package. If you want to get more, we can pipe it to select star. And as you can see more information about each package, or we can also pipe it to GM. And now we can see other properties that are available. And that's basically it for listing all the provisioning packages that are installed in the Windows virtual machine. And in most cases, we only want to see the display name and package name. And for that, we can also pipe it to select and then provide the properties that we want to see. So display name, and then comma, and then package name. Let's press enter. And as you can see, now we can see only these two properties, and the list is very easy to read. And now for removing the provisioning packages, I will go back to my GitHub page because here I have a second command that I will be using in this video that is called Remove-AppxProvisionedPackage. And to remove a package, we need first to provide a package name that you see here. In this case, I'm removing Windows Calculator. And next, I'm providing a parameter online because, like I said, in this video, I will be modifying only the online image. And after that, what makes this command the same as the commands in the other video about Get-AppxPackage and Remove-AppxPackage is that we have this parameter that allows us to remove this provisioning package from all the users on the computer. And a quick note here is that, like I said, this command requires a package name. And the problem with the package name is that it contains the version number. That means if the provisioning package was updated on the computer, this command will no longer be valid. Like in this case right here, if I copy the command and go back to my virtual machine and insert it here, press enter, you can see that I get an error message saying that it cannot find this provisioning package. So I need to update my provisioning package name in here. I will remove it. I will find the calculator in the list here. If I can find it at least. Oh, it's Windows Calculator, so it's here. So I will copy the name. I will insert the name here and press enter once again. And as you can see, this time the command was executed. And if I go to start menu, you can see that calculator disappeared from my start menu. So that means that removing the provisioning package was successfully executed. And that's it for removing a single provisioning package with PowerShell commands, but running commands one by one like this for each package is not very efficient. So for that, I will go back to my GitHub page because here I have this other PowerShell snippet, and it works by creating a list of provisioning packages that we want to remove. Then it will get all the packages from the online image. It filters out only the packages that we have in the list here, and then it pipes them into the Remove-AppxProvisionedPackage command. So basically, this PowerShell snippet will remove all the provisioning packages that we have in the list here. And as you can see in the list, I'm using the display name instead of the package name. And display name does not contain the version number. And this means that even though the packages will be updated in the future, because the display name does not contain the version number, this list will be still valid. And in this list, I have all the applications that I like to remove, but you can modify however you like. Also, at the top of the snippet, you can see more applications that you can add to the list. For example, here you can see more system components that you can remove. And also, I created a list of provisioning packages that I don't recommend removing, like Windows Notepad, Paint, Windows Calculator, Xbox Gaming Overlay, and Windows Photos. Anyways, now I'll click on the button right here to copy the snippet, go back to my virtual machine, and I will insert the snippet into my command line. Press enter, and now if I open my start menu, you can see that the applications are disappearing one by one. And as you can see, the PowerShell snippet finished executing. We have a lot less apps in the start menu. We still have Spotify, Grammarly, Camo Studio, and LinkedIn. And that's because, like I said, these are not installed applications. They only exist in the start menu. And to remove them, you would need to create a new start menu for your users. Also, if I go to my settings app and check the list here, you can see that most of the applications in here are also removed. Also, if you want to see what else you can remove, you can go back to my GitHub page, and here I have another PowerShell snippet. And this PowerShell snippet, instead of showing you all the applications, will show you only applications that are not in the list right here, because here in the list I included all the applications that I'm removing, also the system components and the applications that I don't recommend removing. So if you want to see what else you can remove, you can copy the snippet and insert it into the command line, press enter, and here we can see that we have a few more applications that we can add to our removal script. And that's basically it for removing provisioning packages with PowerShell. But before ending this video, I want to show you how the PowerShell commands and snippets affected the current user, other users on the computer, and also new users on the computer that I will be creating after I executed the PowerShell commands and snippets. And for the current user, it's very simple. We can check the start menu, see that we have all the applications removed from here. Also, if I go into the settings app, we can see that the provisioning packages were removed from this list also. So that's basically it for the current user. Now, before checking the John user that I have here, I will use PowerShell to create another user. Well, not really PowerShell, but command line commands, net user. Then let's create Bill, and then let's add and press enter. And this created another user on the computer named Bill. So before checking Bill, let's go to John's account and see how everything looks in there. And if I go to John's start menu, we can see that all the provisioning packages were removed from here, same as my admin user. So everything seems to be working just fine in here. If I go to settings, apps and installed apps, we can also see that all of the applications were removed from here also. So everything seems to be affecting the existing users the same as they affected the admin user. And now let's check how it affected the new user that was created after I executed the PowerShell commands and snippets. The user that I created was named Bill, so I will sign into him. I will quickly go through the menus right here. And as you can see, for some reason, the effect is quite different on this user that was created after removing all the provisioning packages. Because here in the start menu, we can see all the applications that were removed with Remove-AppxProvisionedPackage commands. And the other interesting thing is that if I go to Settings app, Apps and Installed Apps, we don't see the applications that we see in the Start menu. For example, before in my admin user, I saw Outlook in the Start menu, but I also was able to find it in here. But this time if I type Outlook, we don't get any results. And that's because for some reason in Windows 11, after removing the provisioning packages, the software itself is removed. But for the new users that come after removing the provisioning packages, the start menu is not modified. And all the applications that we had before in the installed and also in the start menu are converted into a type of application like Spotify. So basically, I don't have Microsoft 365 or Outlook for this user, but the software will be installed only after I click the icon in here. And this means that if you're preparing computers for new users, and you want to remove provisioning packages for those new users, it's not enough to only remove the provisioning package. You also need to create a new start menu for your new users. And like I said before, I have a video about creating the start menu for users in my channel. I will also leave a link in the description down below. And that's basically it for this video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and see you in the next one.